I found this at a thrift store, and I'm not sure what it is. It's a keyring-sized metal object that feels quite weighty. There's a spring-like thing in the middle that's pretty springy, and the metal bar has two holes of identical size. It's an interesting little item, but I can't figure out its purpose. Any ideas on what this could be? It's a tent platform anchor, used instead of a traditional stake when camping on a wooden platform. You would slide one end between the floor planks and turn it halfway to lock it in place. The spring prevents it from falling completely through the floorboards. The top hole is for securing the tent or guy lines. I'm trying to imagine who would go camping just to set up a tent on a wooden platform. But it's actually pretty common in Korea. Camping in the wilderness isn't as popular there. Instead, you can rent a wooden platform at suburban campsites, usually run by the government, and enjoy plenty of beer with pork belly. But it's definitely not the same as being surrounded by nature. I found this small, finger-sized object in an old house, and I'm not sure what it is. It looks kind of like a tiny shovel. The object is made of metal, very light, with almost no heft to it. The point is really sharp, and the whole thing has pits and looks quite mottled and rusted, if that's the right term for the damage it's sustained. Any ideas on what this could be? It's the striker from a garden-themed wine chime that uses a miniature watering can as the suspension point for the chimes. I found this interesting object in a restaurant in Michigan's Upper Peninsula, known for displaying hunting and fishing knickknacks, as well as taxidermy. The object in question consists of three large basketball-sized painted bronze orbs arranged in a sort of chandelier formation. The restaurant is called Antlers, located near the Sulaks, and when I asked the staff about it, they didn't know what it was. Someone mentioned it might be a display item from a store that was willing to trade with travelers. But that explanation seems a bit vague and unconvincing. Does anyone recognize this object or have more information on its purpose or name? It's a pawnbroker's shop sign. Traditionally, these signs hung outside pawn shops. The three gold balls are believed to have originated from the Lombardy merchants who popularized pawnbroking in England during the 16th century. I found this object in an old man's basement, and it's quite heavy, with a brassy gold color. The knobs are attached to screws, almost as if they could be wired. Inside there are some springs, and it has a lid, not pictured, made of the same green soft material on the inside, with painted wood on the outside. The measurements on the outside and inside rings appear to be in millimeters. I'm really unsure about what this is. Any ideas? That is a tangent galvanometer. Basically, they're coils of wire around compasses and used to detect small voltages. A galvanometer is an electromechanical measuring instrument for electric current. Early galvanometers were uncalibrated, but improved versions, called ammeters, were calibrated and could measure the flow of current more precisely. Galvanometers work by deflecting a pointer in response to an electric current flowing through a coil in a constant magnetic field. The mechanism is also used as an actuator in applications such as hard disks. I found this necklace at a flea market in Colorado. It is about 2.25 inches, and the inside appears to be hollow most of the way down. It has a gold coating that is chipping off with some kind of gray metal underneath. No other obvious material indicators. No markings other than the front design. Same on back. Assuming it isn't worth anything, but it was kind of cool. The nice guy selling it gave it to me for free. Any idea what this was meant to be used for? It's a needle holder. This tool is used to securely hold needles, making it easier for tasks like threading or sewing, especially when handling small or delicate needles. I found this adorable, tiny purse-like container at a thrift shop, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's only a few inches long, with triangular sides, and has a beautiful jeweled clasp. There are no handles or places to attach it to anything. I'm sure it must have a specific use, but I have no idea what it's meant to hold. Any ideas on what this tiny gold container is for? It's a miniature purse for expensive dolls. This strange iron object with a gold-like coating and a wooden ring on top. It's about 10 inches long and was found in a South German household. The previous owner has passed away, and now it's a bit of a mystery. The wooden ring is thick, made from a single piece of wood, and has a rough, uneven surface inside. Almost as if it was intentionally left that way, perhaps because it was never meant to be seen. On the outside, the ring is carefully carved with a smooth surface. I can't quite figure out what this object is. Any thoughts on what it might be or its purpose? I'm thinking it could be the base of a kerosene table lamp from the late 1800s or early 1900s. It would have a glass tank with a decorative cover matching the wood, and the tank would be visible through the basket to keep an eye on the fuel level. I've seen similar types before, but never with wood on them. Could be a plant stand or something entirely different too. They made a lot of similar styles of cast iron stuff back in the day. I found this heavy tool at a secondhand store, made of wood and gold-colored metal. The bottom is flat while the top is rounded with a very distinct texture. There's a hole directly in the center. I bought it, hoping it might have some value beyond the price I paid, but I'm not sure what it is. It feels worn to the touch, and while I initially thought it might be a kitchen utensil, perhaps a garlic press, my searches haven't yielded any answers. Anyone have an idea of what this tool could be? It's a vintage millinery flower tool missing the other piece. It's for pressing fabrics to make fabric flowers for women's hats. Something that fell out of fashion, of course, once women and men stopped wearing hats on the daily. The hole would help give a guide for putting together layers of the fabric petals to make beautiful flowers for the hat. I came across this gold sphere with legs and a handle. It's a little over 3 inches in diameter and has a unique feature. It splits into 2 halves, each with its own lid. One of the lids is stamped with Wilson's patent, while the other has a series of letters and a small shield symbol. We think the first letter is C, followed by PAS, and then on the shield there's W and D with an S just below it. I've tried searching it on Google Images, but I haven't had any luck identifying it yet. Does anyone have an idea what this could be? This is a Victorian folding clamshell biscuit box. A famous model has been made for many years by the Fenton Brothers Silver Company. I can't tell who made this one by the hallmark, but it seems likely that it was made by Wilson's. In essence, it's just a very elaborate cookie jar. However, they can be quite expensive, especially if this one is made of sterling silver.